Okay guys, welcome to part 3, hopefully the final stage and touch up of this. We've just applied the photo filter from the last video. Bear with me, I know you've been following these videos for about 45 minutes now, and I hope they're of use to you, but here we go. Final stages, usually the most fiddly parts as well. Okay, so we've applied the photo filter. We like the effect that's given, but I do. And that's what counts, it's my image. You don't have to do it, it's bad. So go to an adjustment layer and put a colour balance in. Then just bring the yellow in slightly. Then Control I to invert the layer mask. And that's right, we're working on the hair. So set your brush, paint it in white, and just bring in some of the highlights of the hair back. You'll see on this right hand side, I don't know if it'll come up on the video, but it's a bit too much. So I'm going to lower my brush down to 10% opacity, paint in black, and just where it's a bit too yellow, it's got a yellow tint on it, I'm going to bring it down. Okay, paint in white again, bring your brush back up to 100% opacity, and just finish off where I went wrong there. That's the thing. Now we're going to do another adjustment layer, colour balance again, we're going to bring the reds up. Then we're also going to do the shadows on this one, because it's there. Then we're going to press Control and I to invert that layer mask again. We're going to paint in white, and yes, that's, you've guessed it, we're going on the lips. Obviously, if you're using a darker skinned model, brunette hair, you'd want a darker red than this light soft red, but yet it's still entirely down to you because it's your image at the end of the day, and these are just techniques that I use and not exactly as you have to follow them. Which I prefer that with a bit of red in there. So now you can see you've got your lips, you've got that nice punch to them. I'm just going to actually bring shadows a bit, and maybe just lower the opacity just slightly of that layer. Okay, we're not going to do one for the eyes because we're going to do several layers for the eyes, but you know the drill. Select them all, Control Alt and E, merge them all together, and that didn't do it because I didn't select all the layers. Control Alt and E, and then Shift and hold down these layers, Control G, call that hair and the lips. Colour, okay. Now, my favourite part of any portrait touch-up is the eyes. First of all, we're going to work on sharpening them up a bit. So, first of all, we'll have a look, see what high pass does, filter of the high pass. And what you want to do is get it so it's pretty much just the eyes standing out and the lips just there. Press OK. Set the mode to overlay. You'll see that's sharpened up the whole image, and that looks okay like that, except for just the bottom of the chin I don't like. So I'm going to apply a layer mask, paint in black, using a soft brush, excuse the bleeping, don't know what's causing that, and just go around the edge, which you don't really want coarse edges, Maybe soften up some of the hair down here a bit as the focus is dropping off. Lower the opacity to about 30%, just get the top of there because that looks a bit too sharp. Around there. And I've just went a bit too keen and eager there. And we just soften up parts of the hair, but it's not all sharp. Okay, then we're going to Shift, Control E these layers, and duplicate it again. Now I'm just going to add specific sharpening for the eyes, so I go to Sharpen. And I'm getting tired, so I don't know my way around Photoshop anymore. Unsharp mask, and you just want to bring your amount to how you think it looks good, just your pixels. Don't worry about the rest of the picture, it's just the eyes you need to be focusing on. I'm just going to bring it down a bit. There we go. Then I'm going to apply a layer mask. Control I it, paint in white, 100% opacity, and just sharpen these eyes up, just like that. And then we're gonna Shift Control E them, merge them together. I'm going to create a new layer. Put Shift and F5. 50% grey, as you know. Portrait is one of my favourite effects. Set to overlay. And that's right, we're going to select the dodge tool. And then here, we're just going to lighten up some of these irises that were already pretty bright from the sharpening, but I like my eyes to be punchy and I want them to scream, look at me. And then we're going to go just quick once over the eyes, whites, to whiten them up a bit, because we're going to do another addition here. Note I'm still painting 30% opacity. If you do it at 100%, these would be too bright. Okay, set my colours back to default. Create a new layer. Get your brush tool, sample your whites of your eyes. Don't select pure whites on colour panel because that just won't look natural. Select lighten, and then you want about 20% opacity, I'd say. And just go into your eyes and just go over the whites, over the where you'd get the bloodshot. I do have to stress, don't do this too much because no one has pure white eyes, despite what you might have seen other people edit or do. If you have them pure white, they just look wrong. But here you can see I'm just removing what appears to look like contact lenses. I'm just going to undo that because I've gone round the eye too much. I've taken away some sharpness there. Then come on to the other side. Same thing. And you can see with all the sharpening, it really has brought out the defects of this eye. So we need to just bring it back and reset it. And this is why I like working on high resolution images, because you can zoom right in and see what you're doing. Admittedly, on a smaller image you don't get to see this detail because it's a smaller image. And then once you've got somewhere that you think you like on here, you zoom out, have a look at it, and you go, that's, even using that technique, it's still too white, so just fade it down a bit. Add a colour adjustment layer, colour balance, select your cyans in a bit, bring your blues up a bit, add a bit of green, and just do the same with your highlights. Okay, then Control I that effect. Paint in white in your brush at 100% opacity. And set it to normal. You can see we're just going to go around the irises and just give them a bit of a blue tint to them. Okay, and then final stage for the eyes, new layer, brush, paint, get a nice blue. Go around the eyes. Oh no, I'm getting tired, my hands are getting shaky with my mouse. My graphics tablet is actually giving up on me today. So it's get me getting used to doing this with a mouse. My eyes are straining. Okay, set that blending mode to colour. Set the eraser tool while it's still bright. Soft edge. Oh. Soft edge brush, and just where you messed it up, just erase it. Using the eyelids as your guide. Obviously no one puts makeup on their actual eyelids, so take that away. More on the eyeballs, and maybe just thin that out a bit. Once you've gone round there, yeah, get your brush, paint in where you've been stupid and you've missed it out. Completely undo that, I don't know what I just did then. And then zoom out so you can see it all. And go, wow, don't you look beautiful? Lower the opacity right down. Yet again, preference, personal option, personal choice. Maybe it's just out to soft light. And just paint in where you've missed. And then we've gone from this image to that image in a matter of just an hour. Okay, well, I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed this session. And that's my 15 minutes up exactly. I'll see you for session 2 anytime soon. Any questions, just ask. Sorry it's not highest quality, but it's hard to teach and work. Goodbye.